There was a mini tattoo in the Grangemouth Stadium. So we went and played in that, and Muirheads were also playing. And there was an interval, and we were moving around, and I bumped into Robert Turner, the leading drummer of Muirheads.
Okay.
He said, how are you getting on? I said, I'm getting on fine. I said, but the band's not that good. We're not getting anywhere. He says, you no fancy coming? So I said, aye. So I joined Muirheads the following Monday.
So was that 71 or round about that?
71, 72. My first Worlds was in the air.
Aye.
That was my first World Championship with Muirheads.
So around about 71 anyway, you're joining the Muirheads. Who was the pipe major and how were they doing at that point?
Bob Hardy was pipe major and Robert Turner was leading drummer.
Okay. Turner had a brother.
No, that was Paul Turner.
Was that?
It was a different Turner.
Was it? Okay.
Nice guy.
Well, that's good to clarify that one, eh?
Aye, well, Paul Turner was a really nice guy. He originally played with the Police in Belfast. Was a band that I can remember, firstly. And then he came across here and he joined the Vale Athol.
Aye.
He was leading drummer of the Vale Athol for quite some time.
So to avoid the confusion, I'll not talk about Paul Turner again, but that's it. So
But Robert Turner was a really, really talented and musical drummer.
Okay.
And I learned a lot from him, to be really honest.
How would you have equated him and Alec Connell, who that time was the leading drummer with the Police band?
I knew Alec well.
Aye.
And in fact, I used to socialise with him.
Aye.
And
was it different styles of drumming?
Totally.
No, that's what I'm trying to get at here.
Robert Turner was very, very musical.
Aye.
Alec was a very good drummer. And it was a different style.
Alec played more to suit the pipers in the band.
Well, so did Robert, to be really honest, Alan.
Aye. But what's the difference in style then? Can you describe it?
To me, it was partly rudimentary. And Robert Turner had the technique of using a wide variety of rudiments in the settings.
Okay.
And to me, it was, you could damn near whistle the tune to him.
Aye.
And one night at the practice in particular, we just started to practice a new MSR. So we got through it, fine, tried it again. The third time, Bob Hardy says, Robert, change the third part of this to spay.
There you are, eh? Aye.
That was it.
Aye.
No qualms.
Aye.
Do it.
Aye.
So that was it, really. And I wouldn't say that Bob criticised.
No, well, commented.
But he just, he obviously didn't like it. And it was maybe distracting him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it's maybe doing the same to the rest of the pipers. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So that was.
But how was the Muirheads pipe band doing then at that particular time? Were it still at the top? And
Well, they were still at the top, aye.
Aye, that's what I mean.
Aye.
Still winning first prizes and all this.
Oh, aye, we were winning.
The Police were dropped out the picture largely in the early 70s. Of frequent first prizes and that. They'd probably be in the prize list somewhere, I don't know, but and then there was a change of pipe major around about 72 to Ian McClellan.
I knew Ian well too.
From Ronnie, who retired in ill health, whatever, trouble with his ears. But anyway, that was the sort of changes of pipe band. but changes in shots around about the same time with the pipe majors and all that sort of stuff and shots.
Another band that came into contention when the Glasgow police band was Edinburgh.
Aye.
Under Ian MacLeod.
Yes, absolutely. Ian had always been there for a decade or so.
Yes, aye. But I think Ian followed Ramsey.
Yeah.
If I'm right in saying
and
so.
Ramsey went to Invergordon.
That's correct.
So that was a sort of time shift there.
Yep.
Yeah. And McAllister, was it John McAllister?
John McAllister was the pipe major.
Pipe major of shots.
I remember his father, but John was the pipe major.
Aye.
At that time.
He was making terrific reads.
That's right, that's correct.
In the 70s. Yep. Absolutely terrific reads. Nobody could touch him for reed making for pipe bands. And who was the Shots leading drummer at that time? Was it Alec Duthart? Did he come back from Invergordon?
That was he followed. He went to Invergordon.
Yeah. How long was he there for, roughly?
Invergordon?
Aye.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. So he would just come back in time for the early 70s again, I suppose.
Mid-70s, I would say.
Mid-70s, okay. Right, aye. So a formidable drum course, really, through your top levels in your bands in the first
Going
period.
back to that time, when the Invergordon band was taking off, Jimmy Hutton was leading drummer of Muirheads.
Yes.
And he went to Invergordon with Alec Duthart.
Okay.
And that was when Robert Turner took over the leading drummer's job at Muirheads.
Okay. Right. Did Hutton come back to Muirheads?
No.
That was unfinished.
That was unfinished with Muirheads,
Right, that's good to clarify.
His brother was pipe sergeant at Muirheads by this time.
Aye. But anyway, we're still on yourself. We're on the Muirheads. You've just joined 71 thereabouts. So, what happened? How did it go over these years?
Well, I played with Muirheads for 10 years.
Right.
And we were doing really, really well. And I remember one of the biggest disappointments, it was at the World Championship in Corby.
Okay.
And we really played well.
Mm-hmm.
And Edinburgh Police beat us by a quarter of a point.
Okay.
We got the sheets. And the ensemble judge at that year was John Ferguson.
So what we're talking about sheets there is a points sheet that the judges write on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ex-Edinburgh Police.
For goodness sake.
And he had them 5 points in front of us for
5
ensemble.
points?
5 points in front of us.
Which is a bit ludicrous.
For ensemble.
You know, aye.
And they beat us by a quarter of a point.
So one judge actually made a point of putting you right out.
Correct.
Right.
Well, that's my take on it.
No, that's it. That's what we're sitting here talking about. You know, it's how you see things, your opinions on matters and all the rest of it. And otherwise, there's no point in sitting down here talking. So that was Corby. Did you... what sort of world championships or other championships did you win in the early 70s? Are they too frequent or too many to mention, or was it?
Every one of them.
Uh-huh.
Except the Worlds.
Aye, so you were winning all the championship events,
Aye.
Scottish, British, European.
That's right.
There's one other one, the Worlds, and there's another one, label I've forgotten, but they're just labels to me. They're just competitions and the major championship events in lieu of the smaller pipe band competitions that you get a reduced number of bands going to that particular time. Okay, so